Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rock River Valley Traction Company for 2026. Well, I was out here once after the snow melted and everything. Took a quick little ride. Surprisingly, very few branches down over the winter, but been pretty busy with other things. Haven't had a chance to come out here now that things are starting to green up, and we've had a lot of storms the last couple of weeks, and looks like we got our first casualty. We made a banana out of this crossarm here, and this tree, which this is the one that had the bees in it last year, looks like it has come down. Hopefully we didn't damage the rail. It fell right on the part where it's not really supported. It doesn't look like it bent anything, so that's hopefully the case when we get this removed. As you can see, it was rotten. The top was already gone out of this tree. Track must have been pretty stout there because the tree broke again when it hit the rail. So yeah, it fell all the way over here, got into this line. Looks like we got a crossarm knocked off. Oh, it came off of this one I got on the tree. Took him down. So yeah, we'll have to get started on that. I didn't even bring the chainsaw out here today, so that was a mistake on my part. But yeah, we'll walk around, see what other kinds of things we got. Finding quite a bit of stuff like this, just small branches. Got another one you can kind of see there going at an angle. These are no big deal. We can just clear these by hand. Looks like we've had pretty good flow of water going under this bridge recently. This gravel was not here last year, so that's coming down off of the road, washing in to the bed here. Something interesting to note is how much this track moves due to thermal expansion and contraction. So you can see right here the tie, this is on a curve, and there's a good probably a good inch in there that this is moved. You know, we've had a couple of like 75-degree days, but for the most part it's been in the 50s. So in the wintertime this shrinks and pulls over, and now it's starting to move back as this rail starts to expand just from that little bit of temperature change. I'm doing a quick bridge inspection while I'm out here on foot. Looks like we've had some pretty significant water flow going on. This is from all the storms that we had over the last few weeks, but bridge looks to be all good. Nothing's washed out here. Everything appears to be secure and good to go. Now this one will be rather fun to clean up. Looks like it from the soggy ground just kind of uprooted itself, although it was dead. But it's got a lot of little branches on it that are like octopus tentacles into everything. So it's not fouling the track right now, but it's gonna come down and cause problems for us soon, so we'll have to get him out of here. The curve here shows evidence that water has been over it. We've got a can here that came from somewhere, and got lots of debris right here in the ties. Looks like it was washed in here, and I can see this is awfully soggy. So this must have flooded and actually covered the track. Looks like it tried to flow into the pipe there, but when this thing floods, now I don't know if the creek came up this high, maybe it did. I'll find out as I continue to walk. Generally, the only time this floods in here this bad is when the creek has been up and over, so we'll keep walking and take a look for evidence of that. Got a few more branches and sticks, if you can see all that down there, but continuing to clear all this. Looks like the water was definitely up here and here, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to say that the creek definitely was up here. This is a pretty good flow for just a simple little localized flood. As you can see here where all this was washing this way, which is typically what happens. This area all in through here is really low, so when the creek floods, this is the first place that it tries to go, is right back along here, and then it flows under the track there at the curve. So I would say the creek maybe wasn't up for long, but it definitely has been up here. All right, so we're getting closer to the creek, and here's some more piles of debris, and then this right here pretty well tells us that yes, the creek absolutely did flood recently. Got a lot of debris here, and now you can start to see the creek. Walk down here and check it out. Yeah, this was definitely had water over our track. And as you can see, it is still pretty high. You know, normally I would say this is up probably at least 6 feet over and above where its normal level is. Flood wall still holding, so that's good. One thing I found in my walk around the line is an awful lot of rotten ties. We're gonna have to go heavy on tie replacement this year. Got a bunch of them. I see this over here starting to wash out and subside. Looks like our retaining wall rotted away and failed. That's gonna have to be addressed. You know, we've got a lot of these ties. I mean, that thing is, there's not much left of that one. So yeah, that's some of the projects that we'll be working on this year. I've walked the entire line, and what you've seen is what we've got out here. So I guess it's not all bad, all things considered. At least nothing fell on the barn out here, so that's always a bonus. I always dread the day that something comes down and punches a hole in the roof, but so far we've been lucky, knock on wood. So I'll show you here the way this is set up. That kind of helps to minimize any kind of permanent damage that we may get whenever there's a short in the catenary that I may not know about. Say for instance, I come out here, you know, for the first time in the day, turn the power on, and we don't know or not if if there's a short in the catenary. So the way these switches are set up allows me to determine that pretty quickly. So here's our disconnect for the power where it comes into the barn, and it goes up to this isolation transformer, which is wrapped in a screen there to keep the mice from getting into the windings. They like to live up in there. But in any case, the power comes out of this transformer and it goes to this first knife switch, and this goes directly out to the catenary via a circuit breaker right there. That is a 30 amp circuit breaker. So what I do when I come out here for the first time each time is I'll energize the transformer, which you can hear buzzing right now, and then I'll take this switch and I'll just very quickly touch it like that, and you can see the voltmeter up there. So that's energizing the whole catenary. And if there is some sort of circuit fault, then not only will this spark when I put it in, the voltage won't come up, and you'll see the ammeter just peg, and if it's bad enough and close enough to the barn, it'll blow the circuit breaker right away. Most of the time, if the fault is far away from the barn, I'll throw this in, and you'll hear the transformer really start humming, and the ammeter will peg, but I can disconnect it fast enough so that it doesn't actually trip the breaker or damage anything. So once this is in, now that energizes the catenary. So the tree that we've got down up there on the hill is the catenary is not touching the rail. So it hasn't actually shorted anything out. It's always lucky when that happens that way, because my chainsaw runs off of power from the steeple cab, so I kind of need power in order to cut up the tree. Otherwise I got to drag out the gas chainsaw. But once this is in and energized, now this allows power to be fed to these other two knife switches that energize contactors that feed the other transformers for the other two substations. So if for some reason this one drops out, it's going to take out everything. And if for some reason this one cannot be turned on because of a circuit fault, these two cannot be turned on, which means that those contactors will not try to close under a short-circuited load, which would destroy them, most likely. So that's why we do it this way. I'll do a further detailed video of how all this works, but thought I'd throw that in since we've got a tree down over the line right now, and is not causing an actual short. So we can see here we've got our voltage right there, and we've got no current draw through the line right now. Got the steeple cab and the box motor brought out. I brought the steeple cab out because I thought I was going to take a ride today, but with the tree down, that's not happening. And the box motor is out because I'm working on a new air compressor for it. One that will sound authentic, I hope. It's going to be mounted under the frame. So I've got the compressor already, and I have to make some mounting brackets for it. So I'm going to get some measurements off the frame, down underneath here. I'll look at the frame members and figure out where that compressor is going to fit at. And then I see, it's interesting, every year I have this problem with the steeple cab. I don't know if this is mice or raccoons or what, but every year I paint this, and every spring it's all chewed up again. So I don't know what's doing that. I don't know that a mouse could do that. So maybe it's the trash pandas. I'm not sure. There are several of them living in here. I spooked them when I came in They probably got a nest back there in the curve side if I had to guess. I'm not going to try to find out. So yeah, we'll get some measurements off of this box motor and then put everything away for the day. All right, so we've taken our measurements here. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything away for the day. And next time we'll bring the chainsaw out here and hack up our tree. You can see the equipment in here with the box motor removed. Makes it kind of nice. You can see everything. Disregard the disaster back there on the back wall. Need to get the little open car out this year. Take it for a ride. And the poor line car hasn't turned a wheel in a couple of years. Need to get it back out. It's in dire need of a complete overhaul. I don't know if you can tell, the frame is kind of sway belly there, and yeah, it's a mess. So got our weed sprayer and the Bernie hiding back there. The Bernie's gonna get a new running gear this year, I hope. So that'll be a project that we'll be working on. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the first video of the season. Realize it's not that exciting, but you know, some of you guys asked me about day-to-day operations and little things like that, so now you can see what we go through. But, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.